there's a rule, or at least a general guideline, I guess, comics like to follow, where certain characters must always stay dead. And granted, that line is always kind of fluctuated depending on it. Used to be back in the day, the characters that you ensured stay dead was Uncle Ben, Bucky Barnes, and Jason Todd. Now, granted, 2 out of those 3 did not stay dead. They were brought back. And granted, comic book characters, heroes, villains, what have you, they always tend to have this revolving door when it comes to mortality. Like, yeah, sometimes they'll be dead, maybe they'll come back, or some other convoluted way. Like, they never stay dead for long because it's usually like a marketing thing. But for other characters, and for Grant Wilson in particular, I always find it such an odd case. Now, he might not be the only one, okay, but this is just the one I'm noticing. Because it seems like with this character, who, when you really look at it, he's more or less the driving force behind what brought Deathstroke to fight the Teen Titans in the first place in the comic. And they do literally everything and anything except bring this character back. And I never can find a logistical reason why, or even a reason. They are just committed to keeping this son of a bitch in the ground. Because, to provide some context here, for those not aware, Grant Wilson is the son of Slade Wilson, Deathstroke. He's his firstborn son. Now, Grant grew up idolizing Deathstroke, the contract killer. Ironically, he hated his father, Slade. He did not know the 2 men were one and the same. Eventually, Grant gets in contact with Hybe, who basically tell him, we can make you cool like Deathstroke. We can give you this flawed super soldier serum that basically gives, Slade his abilities. And Grant is like, oh, hell yeah. Because he wants to make a name for himself. He patterns his suit basically like similar to Deathstroke and all this. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be as cool as him. I got the same powers. And he tries to kill, the Titans, but it doesn't work because the serum is flawed, so it overclocks his heart, and he straight up dies. And this is what leads Slade in declaring his all-out vendetta on the Titans. So he's a pretty pivotal role in that. Now, granted, yes, there are other children of Slade, like he's got, Jericho and Rose, who becomes the new Ravager. Grant was originally Ravager. He was the first one. And, they get their love. Rose gets a lot of love. She gets around the block plenty of times in comics and material. Jericho, he pops up every now and again, But Grant just nothing. Oh, they'll do flashbacks. They'll do death hallucinations every now and again. They'll mention his name once in a while. But they never really do anything with him. You would think in this climate where we're just killing off people and bringing them back and all this, we never do anything with Grant Wilson. And I bring this up because we have a new Deathstroke run coming out, or it's been out, and we're on the 6th issue, right? And it's this whole storyline is there's someone who killed Billy Wintergreen, who is Slade's best friend and helper. He's kind of like the Alfred to his Batman type thing, and is now framing Slade and trying to ruin his reputation by making him look like he's just a nut job or whatever, and it's kind of like messing with him. And you're thinking, oh, okay, this is odd, and you find out that this person is like wearing like a copycat armor of Slade, and you're like, okay, this is interesting. What the fuck is going on here, right? But after issue 5, we get the reveal that it's just Adeline Kane, Slade's ex-wife, and Grant and Jericho's mother, who's upset because Slade doesn't feel anything. He doesn't change his ways, even though this makes no logistical sense because she's tried to kill him multiple times before. And even in this run, she decides, oh, I'm just going to shoot Rose in the brain because I want him to feel bad. Even though that's an odd choice, why would you take it out on Rose when she's done nothing to you, like since the father thing? But whatever, right? But we're doing this stuff, right? Like, and it makes this run so underwhelming because the perfect character for this type of storyline would have been Grant, because Grant idolized Deathstroke. He idolized that. He didn't idolize his father. Like him and Slade never like had a horrendous relationship. Like they were always arguing, and Grant was always happy with when Slade left, you know? And you could play around with that kind of story, right? But they never do anything with him. It's like as soon as he's dead, he's just dead. And they will do literally anything and everything except bring his ass back. Like, this was peak. Now, granted, this was a time travel thing when Slade, like, got Speed Force powers and all this, but this was still cool. Like, he was a force to be reckoned with, and he only died because the super soldier formula in his brain, in his old noggin there, just was too much. It overclocked his systems. But instead of doing anything interesting with Grant, we will do literally anything and everything. Remember Respawn? Yeah, you probably don't. This guy existed all over about 10 seconds in the grand scheme of things. He was like a big thing brought up during a pivotal Damian storyline, and then we reveal that this guy is actually another one of Slade's kids. This one, birth from Talia al Ghul, so Damian's half-brother, technically. And he dies, like this character just also dies as well, like later on. Like I think it was like about 2-ish years ago. Like you would think we'd do anything with this guy, like maybe, oh, this guy could have been a new version of Grant or something, you know? It could have been literally anything, but nope. This could have been Grant? Nope, it's just Adeline being angry for reasons. You know, we don't get anything like this. We can't get, you know, Grant coming back and doing anything interesting. No. He gotta die. He gotta stay in the fucking dirt. And I just don't know why. Like, why is it, of all things to be consistent on, is like we keep Grant in the ground? Like, I don't know what it is. Is it because we have Rose and they don't want to like have to worry about dealing with the name changes? Like, you could have made a storyline about that. You could have had Grant like maybe try to fight his sister for the title of Ravager, and then he loses because, you know, she doesn't have a flawed super soldier serum running through her veins or something like that. Or maybe he's like, I'll just get my own name, fuck all this shit, you know? But you don't do anything with him? It's not like they do a whole lot with the Slade's other kids. Like, Jericho is practically a prop at any time. He's only around when they feel like they need to bring him around. Rose is probably the only one that gets any like form of attention in any media, really. I mean, like, yeah, she was there in the Knights and Dragons animated special that they did. She was in the live action one. Grant Jericho was in that one as well. But, like, nothing for Grant. And it's so wild because he is the catalyst. It's like doing a storyline where you don't include, like, Uncle Ben because, you know, it's like he's dead. I don't know. It's just so strange how we will do literally anything and everything except use the character at all. Like, the most I've ever seen this character get used was freaking Arrowverse stuff, okay? When they brought him in for Legends of Tomorrow, and they were like, oh yeah, here's Grant Wilson. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nifty. And that was it. Literally anything and everything except bringing him back from the dead. Like, of all the things we do these days, I mean, it's like, he's dead, Alfred stays dead, you know, none of the, it's like, of all the characters, and I know, maybe Grant isn't the only character that's getting this type of treatment, but he's the one I'm noticing, right? It's just something that just baffles the mind, you know? And I'm just making this video just to kind of maybe see if other people notice this kind of thing with other characters. And maybe if somebody could maybe provide me some ideas of, like, why is it that they will keep Grant in the fucking dirt and not do anything with his character, and they will do, like, literally everything else except that. You know, I mean, I'm open to some suggestions. I'm open to the conversation, you know, right? Because, I mean, we could have had this guy back in the fray. We could have had something interesting. It's not like you can't do anything cool with him. Like, there's potential. The eldest child of Slade Wilson, the guy who's got a ironic, like, dual problem with his father. You know, he loved the alter ego his father has, yet he hates the man. And it's like, you combine those two, what are you gonna get? You know, like, you could have had something, but you're choosing not to. Instead, you're going for stuff like this. You're going for stuff like this when he was a catalyst for the whole thing. It's just wild to me, man. I don't know. Maybe someone will tell me, and maybe I can at least have an answer.